Welcome, friends. Welcome back to the kitchen. We are continuing our breakdown of a whole hog with Jamie, who is a butcher, educator, author, and who also works with Westside Beef, who has provided us with this hog. And today we're going to break down the belly.
That's right.
So let's get started. I mean, when I look at a belly, I see bacon, but there's other cuts in here that aren't merchandised, if I understand it, that you don't see at the butcher shop.
That's right. So first one that we would be taking off in order to kind of make this or get it close to bacon would be this diaphragm muscle here, and that's our skirt steak.
Okay.
So this would be the outside skirt steak. And then we've got our inside skirt steak, which is this muscle right here.
But these are so this would be trimmed out. This would end up as sausage, probably?
That's right, yep.
And this would be left on the belly normally?
We'll leave that on the belly, yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and then, I mean, just for point of reference, we do have a flank steak here, too.
So all of these cuts are analogous to what you would see in beef.
Correct.
Because it's on 4 legs, and
Yep.
like you said. But they're not cut the same in pork as they would be in beef.
Yeah, it kind of boils down to merchandising and what we've been kind of conditioned to see. It's nice to see that people kind of go outside of those norms and kind of play around with the different opportunities. I don't see too much going on with the skirt steak, but I certainly see a lot more butchers maybe doing bone-in belly chops, which is something different too, right? So yeah, it shouldn't just be just black and white. Like, this is eventually going to be bacon. There's lots of other options we can explore as well.
So if you're interested, I'm terribly interested in cooking these cuts separately because I've never had them and I want to try them.
Yeah.
So can we cut those out and make them separately?
Of course we can.
I want to try them.
Okay, great.
But let's start.
Okay, so first thing I would do is just hold the skirt steak up on a 90-degree angle and just kind of follow its shape along those ribs. And then we've got our outside skirt steak.
It's very tiny.
It is, right?
Which is probably why it's folded into other things. Okay.
Exactly, yeah. So in order to, I kind of jokingly say that we'd probably need about 4 or 5 of those to feed somebody. So.
To feed, yeah.
Anyway, and then we can seam out the flank steak, which is right here. So once we kind of identify where it is that we want to cut through, it's just a matter of seaming it out.
You're just following the fat.
Just follow this fat, the kind of the fascia that attaches that muscle to the fat. So then we've got a pork flank steak, right?
Cool.
And did you still want to explore
That's like one taco.
Exactly. So now I think when you put them all together, you're going to have a pretty decent meal.
Okay, let's try. Let's cut this one out and see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to try this?
Sure.
So honestly, you saw how I removed the flank steak. So you just need to make a cut just deep enough to kind of follow along the shape of that skirt steak.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So
Not very deep.
I'm almost just scoring it.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
And then once you get to that point, you should be able to find the seam in the meat, right?
And it just pulls out.
That's right. So now what you need to do is, I would run my knife just along that top part too, and go just about as deep as you did.
Okay.
Yeah, just on those ribs. Perfect. So
And
just
then
pull. And just just take the knife and just score as you need, and then you're just pulling it out.
Oh, there's a.
Yeah, they might have a little bit of cartilage there from the base of the ribs.
Okay. There we go.
Yep, you can just take that with it, and we can trim it out later.
And just again here, there's another piece of cartilage.
There you go. Another skirt steak.
Cool. And so that's just cartilage off.
Yeah,
the
we'll
bottom
just take
of
your knife and just run along the bottom of there.
Just cut them just like that.
Yep.
Ah,
Perfect. And now you've got 2 skirt steaks and a pork flank steak.
that's a meal.
Who knew?
Okay. I did not know because you never see them.
Exactly.
Okay. So now we've got. Let's do the belly chops.
Sure, not a problem. So what we're going to do is we're just going to flip it around.
Okay.
And then if you want, I don't know if there might be a little bit of cartilage here that we might just have to get through. Yeah, okay, perfect. So once I remove that, I'd like you to take the steak knife.
Okay.
And I'd like you to go simply right in between that rib and just follow that shape of right in between those ribs. Perfect.
So that is a belly chop.
That's a bone-in belly chop.
Okay.
And, you know, I don't know that the cooking preparation would differ very much from doing it on a grill. You could either just do it really quickly, or you could do a low and slow.
Okay.
It kind of responds well to both those.
Okay.
Yep.
Probably take the skin off before cooking.
Not necessarily. I mean, the only thing that I kind of recommend any type of skin-on product, because the fat will render out. Normally what I like to do is I'll just make a little bit of a cut into the skin.
Okay.
And that just allows it to keep its shape while the fat's rendering out. So you can cook it with the skin on. And matter of fact, sometimes I prefer doing that because there will be natural seams that in between the skin and the fat, that after you cook it, it's kind of like smoking bacon. We actually prefer to smoke it with the skin on.
Yeah.
Because the skin is a heck of a lot easier just to peel off through these natural seams than it is to try to knife cut them off.
Okay.
So if you can cook it with the skin on, it's just a matter of pulling it off.
Peeling it off
Yep,
later.
exactly.
Okay. And so there's 2 or 3 in here.
I'd say you'd probably get another 2 out of that would be respectable size.
Okay. And great. And one more.
Let's do one more.
Okay. So the rib here takes
Kind
a
of
sharp.
angles out, right?
Yep.
So what I like to do is just kind of, just kind of follow the contours. Let the bones kind of speak to how it's going to go. So I
Okay.
would go somewhere in around that neighborhood there. So you're starting at the tip of this next rib, but you're allowing
Coming down to the
yourself
base of that
exactly
one.
the
Okay.
base of that rib there.
There we go.
There you go.
Cool. Okay.
So this still provides us with an opportunity to take these ribs away and still have a nice piece for belly.
Cool. Go ahead.
Okay. So what I'll do is I'm just going to come in and run my knife under these ribs like so. So I'm just making sure that my knife is staying right against those bones as I make these cuts. And then once I can lift the bones up high enough, I'm just going to follow the base of them. And then I'll take off that last little bit of rib. So now what I've got is a nice piece of boneless belly, which would still allow us to cure at least this portion here. So we're still going to get about 4 pounds out of it.
Okay.
Cure it and smoke it, or cure it and hang it with pancetta, or if we're going to put smoke on it, then we would have smoked bacon.
And this section here?
Normally gets trimmed out. As you can see, like not all parts of the belly are created equally. We
Yep.
get a lot more fat in this area. So if we can just kind of fish out some of the muscle tissue that's in there, we can always add that into the trim pile and make some sausages.
Goes
with it.
into the sausage.
Yeah.
And so that's the belly. That is the belly. So there's a few things in here that I've never seen before, which I'm really happy that we did this so that I can give them a try.
Mm-hmm.
This goes into soup stock.
Yep.
The bones. Got some chops, which are going to be great to try.
I wholeheartedly believe that. I've had them on occasion and they're quite tasty.
And some belly for bacon.
That's right.
So next up, loin.
Let's do the loin.
Excellent. So come on back for us breaking down the loin. Thanks for stopping by. See you again soon. Action.
Bone and belly chop. Boneless belly. Inside skirt steak. Outside skirt steak. Flank steak.